Welcome to LABMIN.com and our lab video series on Cisco ISE 2.2. This is Metha, your instructor for this video series. For a complete list of our ISE videos, you can visit our website under the Security section. There you can also sign up for our newsletters to receive the latest video updates. In addition to performing major software upgrade to your ISE deployment, you may need to apply patches in between. And this is usually to address issues with software bugs or if you want to get a minor feature enhancement from that patch. There are two ways that you can apply software patches, and that would be via a GUI or a CLI. We look at a patch install over the command line back in ISE 1.1 video series, and that video is SEC0291 ISE 1.1 patch install and rollback. And nothing has really changed since using the command line. So in this video, we will look at the second option, and that's how to apply the patch over the web interface. For our lab setup, we have a 2-node ISE deployment that we upgraded in the last video from version 2.1, now running version 2.2. And the server is LM ISE4 for the first one at the IP of 172.16.32.114, and the second server is ISE number 5 at the IP of .115. Right in the same VLAN, we have our Windows 2012, and we're going to use that to supply the patch file to our ISE, and that server has the IP of .40. Right, we're also going to RDP into that server to perform the patch install. When you install the patch from the GUI, it's really straightforward, but similarly to the software upgrade, before you apply the patch, it is recommended that you take a config backup, just in case something goes wrong during the patch process, even though the risk of that happening is much lower than the software upgrades. All right, then you need to make sure that all of your nodes are online. Go to the RDP session, and this is by going under the administration deployment. And currently we are logged into ISE4. So we are seeing both ISE4 and 5, and their node status are showing as connected. So this is what you want. If you have anything showing as disconnected or down or syncing, or synchronizing, then you definitely don't want to proceed yet. If you have an auto failover configured, or pan failover right here, and that's usually applicable when you have 3 or more nodes in your deployment, you would want to temporarily disable it, because we don't want the failover to accidentally happen when the node is taken down because of a restart after the patch is being applied. And lastly, you need to download the patch file from cisco.com, and FYI, patch is cumulative, so you don't need to apply the previous number patch to get to the latest. So if you want to apply patch 5, you don't need 1 through 4 patches. Here we have a patch downloaded. Let me see if I can find it right here. ISE patch bundle for version 2.2, and what we have here is patch number 1. The size of the patch file is usually not very big compared to the upgrade file. You're talking about a couple hundred megs at the very most. Now to install the patch from the GUI, you go under Administration, System, and Maintenance. And here there's a submenu for Patch Management. To install, click Install. Choose the file. Select the file that we have downloaded. ISE patch bundle, patch 1, and then click install. You can see in the bottom of the browser there's an uploading progress, and currently we are around 40%, just past that. Now we're just going to have to wait for that to complete. By the way, I didn't quite show you that we're running version 2.2, and we got locked out. And since we didn't see any patch under there, that means we currently have no patch. When the patch process has started, you'll be locked out of the system, and the chances are you would not be able to get back in. So I can try to refresh the page. Looks like it hasn't taken down the node yet. But anyway, at this point, you wouldn't want to do anything, making any changes or locking back in. Depending on the number of nodes that you have in your deployment, the time taken to apply the patch would be different. The more nodes you have, of course, the longer it would take for all the patch to be distributed and applied. So what I'm going to do here is to pause the video, and there's not much to see at this point, but just to let it run in the background. and we'll come back when the patch install is complete. Alright, so we're back. The patch install has now complete, and we are currently logged back into ISE number 4. If we look at About ISE, you can see now the versions to 2.2, but the install patch is number 1. If you go to the maintenance and patch management page, you can see the patch version is also shown as number 1. You can select it and click Show Node Status, and hopefully all of your nodes listed here has the patch status of install. We can also check the deployment and make sure everything goes back to synchronized and connected. So at this point we should be back to normal with our system being patched. Now if you run into issues after the patch and want to roll back, you can do that by uninstalling the patch or rolling back the patch. And this is done on the same page that we were at, installing the patch. All you need to do is to select the patch version that you would like to uninstall, and you can click rollback. There's a confirmation pop-up that says, "Are you sure you want to roll back selected patch?" And this will lock you out and the application will restart. Click OK to proceed. And you can see the patch rollback has been initiated. And once again, we're being locked out from the system. And I'm going to pause the video one last time for the rollback to finish, and then we'll come back and take a look and make sure that the patch has been successfully removed. And we're back. It only took us 20 minutes to roll back the patch, and now we're back logged into ISE 4. If you look at About ISE, and you see that we no longer see a patch in there, as well as if you go back under Maintenance and Patch Management, you see that we no longer see patch version number 1. And just FYI, both of our ISE nodes went through a reboot to have the patch uninstall. Alright, as you can see, installing patch over GUI is easy, and I think it works very well if all the nodes are connected on high-speed LAN. If some of your ISE nodes are located on the other side of a low-speed WAN, I would still recommend doing it via CLI, so that way you have more control in distributing patch files and patch one node at a time to minimize the impact upon failure. Or if you want to be able to choose to patch each node at a different time just because they may have different maintenance windows, you would want to do it manually as well, as we just saw that once you push the install button to patch, ISE will start to apply the patch to all of the nodes without giving you any options. So it's basically this process is all or nothing. And that wraps up our ISE 2.2 patch install and rollback. You can visit our website to view an extensive list of our lab videos and sign up to get access to additional lab contents. Thank you for watching LABMIN.com, and I'll see you guys in the next video.